sun, but the sun was out in Seattle, so we can't complain.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's I mean, on a sunny day, I don't think there's a better place in the country than, up in the Northwest and Seattle and everything. But it's just getting those sunny days on a consistent basis.
Right. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, we all live for those days for sure.
How many years have you been up there, Tim?
30 now.
Oh, wow.
I grew up in Southern California until about 22, and then decided to bring my wife and child up here at the time, and been here ever since.
Yeah, it was a lot less expensive back then, I bet you, than it is now as far as housing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's gotten out of hand for sure. It is out of hand. It's crazy. But I don't know how the cop or the garbage guy does it. Well, I guess he doesn't. He just lives out in a different, outside Midtown and stuff like that. Yeah, you got to get pretty far away from the city to get any value. And I think when I first moved up here, I bought a home. It's kind of a rural home on 5 acres for $85,000.
Yeah, wow.
And, on a golf course.
Now the positive is, if you ever at any point in time, you can sell everything and pay cash when you move to Iowa or whatever.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But yeah,
I didn't think so. All right, so task at hand here. Here's what I thought we would do today, Tim, just kind of frame this conversation, and you tell me if you want to go in a different direction, no big deal. But my thoughts are,
okay,
we do the following. I'd start off just kind of showing you the back office. And what I mean by back office is the system that folks work on as it relates to processing the orders. The system itself, as far as processing orders, all that, you have all your information and whatnot. But we'd start there. And then I actually kind of walk you through an order. I would do it verbally and then kind of go through the bells and whistles of the system. And the reason I'm thinking that way is I want to give you really a clear and transparent view on what we do as it relates to back office support when placing an order. So what a sales partner does when placing an order, and then what we own going forward. And then once we went through the back office and went through all those key points, then my thoughts are I'd log in as a customer to give you a perspective from a customer's view, the technology that's available to them, and in turn, obviously, things that you'd be able to provide to, and speak to and provide to a potential client. So that, in a nutshell, back office at the beginning, and then focus on the customer-facing technology to grow the business. Okay. Does that work for you?
That sounds great. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to do everything live online. So I'm going to log in first as a sales partner and just show you this, what the system and whatnot, and then I'll log in as a customer. So any questions that you have, feel free to ask as we go along. If I don't know the answer, we'll table it and I'll get you the answer. At a later time. So. All right, so with that, you should see on your screen, do you see Boundless Apps in the upper left-hand corner?
I do.
Okay, so this is our back office system. I'm logged in actually as a sales partner, who's part of Boundless. His name is Shane Maddox. So this system, Boundless Apps is what we call it, is what you would log into every day to get access to all your information as it relates to your overall business, as far as this place where your orders will be placed. This is where you have visibility of those orders. This is where the reporting is, the financial information, vendor information, customer information, marketing. Really, all components of running your business are housed within Boundless Apps.
Okay, great.
Boundless Apps, you probably have heard of. It's Salesforce. It's optically Salesforce.com, which is a CRM, which is out of Northern California.
Right.
But
right. Okay.
but it's actually tied into two other software packages called TeamWorks and Great Plains, which gives you the tracking of an order and then also the accounting, the financial information. So those three packages are interwoven to create what you're going to see here today. This isn't something we bought off the shelf or anything like that. This is something that we basically developed into our business and Boundless and so on.
So sales, if I can ask us, Salesforce is the CRM that's pushing that side of things, and then the other is from a different app or a different application altogether. Okay.
Correct. So it's CRM, obviously customer management software package. I mean, that's got all the customer data. And then the order tracking is different software packages, as is the financial information. But my point is they're all interwoven and connected to create again what you're seeing here today. So,
okay.
Let's start off. I'm going to verbally kind of let's just walk through an order. It's kind of a good way to connect the dots, so to speak, to get an understanding of what we do as it relates to supporting an order. So let's walk through. Let's say you get, 500-piece T-shirt order from SanMar today.
Okay.
You would take that. Our sales partners are, their job is to sell, and then also when they get an order, enter that order into the system. So Shane, in this case, who we're logged in, would come in here and enter an order in the system, create new, enter an order. Again, there's probably not a lot different than what you're doing right now at Halo. It's just the purchase order template. You fill out that order, you attach the artwork, and then you hit submit. Once you hit submit, then that order goes down to an account manager. You'd have one person assigned to you, Tim, down at Boundless. They're based out of Austin, Texas.
Right.
So he or she would receive that order, proof that order. What I mean by proof it, look it over, and then also confirm the ship date. Reach out to SanMar, confirm the ship date, and then send an order acknowledgement out to you and your customer. So your customer would receive an email out from the account manager saying, thank you for your order. Your order is scheduled to ship XYZ date. And then that account manager owns that order then. So they're following up with the vendor, in this example, SanMar. Did the order ship? If the order shipped, getting the tracking information and putting it into the system. So you have visibility to the tracking notes.
Okay.
They then would reach out to the decorator. Do you have any questions on the artwork? Did you get the correct amount of shirts? When is the order scheduled? Confirm the ship date, and then enter all that data in the system. If the vendors have any questions on the order, that information will be entered in the system, so you have visibility to it as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to fast forward here. The order is shipping today. They would reach out, the account manager that is, and say, has the order shipped? Get the tracking information, and then a communication would go out to you and the customer. Mr. Customer, order is shipped. Click on the following link to get your tracking information. And then from that point forward, that account manager would gather all the invoicing information. So they get the stuff from the decorator, they get the stuff from the vendor. They would consolidate all that information and provide that to an accounting person, who would be your point, who again you'd be assigned to.
Right.
They would create an invoice. You'd have 24 to 48 hours to approve that invoice, and then we would go out and collect from the customer.
Okay. And just real quick, in regards to an invoice from, say, SanMar, or more likely a different type of supplier, but those invoices that come in, if there's any discrepancies in what we put on our PO and the invoice that shows up, is that something that's shared with the sales partner, or is that just done by the account manager to notify me that there's been a discrepancy?
Yeah, there would be a notification if there's a discrepancy on pricing on the front end. That's why we send a copy of the invoice in advance, because if there's any discrepancies, we want to nail it then and there. So if they quoted us $1 and they all of a sudden priced $1.25 and they haven't notified us, then then there's some hope they got charge us $1.
Right.
So
Okay.
So yeah, that's important. I'm glad you asked that question. It's important to note though that there's positives and negatives to this as well. But I mean, we do not pay a percentage or anything on booked. As a whole, everybody here is paid on paid. So we don't have a lot of the clawbacks that go on as far as this deduction or this wasn't charged and that type of stuff. So,
right. Okay.
So
everybody's on the paid, not paid on booked.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly. You know, somebody who comes from a paid on booked background, what we tend to do, we'll pay it. We'll wean, for lack of better words, we'll wean that individual off. And what I mean by that, somebody comes on over, we pay a percentage paid on book for, you know, X amount of months, and then a lesser percentage X amount of months there, and then eventually you're down to, you know, paid on paid. So it's timing more than anything else. But what it eliminates is a lot of the things I think you just mentioned. There's positives and negatives, of course, to being paid on booked. Positives, you paid up front. The negatives is that you have to read your commission reports pretty clearly because, you know, all that fun stuff.
It is. Yeah, that's my current status, and it is fairly confusing.
Yeah,
for sure.
You'll spend a lot of time looking back.
Right.
But those are the things that you're basically outsourcing to Boundless.
Okay.
On as far as the order management's concerned. So again, similar from my experience working with Halo, there's a lot of similarities to that. In addition to that, just some other things just to make a mental note of. We do pay for and provide Sage. Our folks also have access to ESP on our system as well. So the sourcing engine is what we provide. You do have your own website. We'll provide you a Boundless website. Do you go under your brand or do you go under Halo? Do you have because it doesn't matter to us.
I try to promote my brand as much as I can, but it's got years of juice to it. So I also, use Halo as well, more as the powered by. Kind of title for Halo.
Yeah. It doesn't matter to us. Everything customer facing can have your brand on it. So just an FYI, invoicing and marketing and stuff like that. So
that can have my brand on it if you invoice out, and so the Boundless logo is smaller and the correct kind of thing, or how does
it would have like a marketing piece. You'd have your brand and your company name, and then powered by Boundless underneath it. On invoices, it would have your logo, your brand on there. The payment would be to Austin, Texas.
Right. Okay, that's good.
So all that stuff can have your brand if so desired. So.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice.
Okay, so you have a website, you have the sourcing engines, you have the system to place orders. The order management is done by an account manager. Order acknowledgments, tracking of orders, shipping out tracking information, and then invoicing and collecting is things that we do too. So you're basically outsourcing all that to Boundless, so you can focus on selling.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to segue here, unless there's any questions on that whole process. I want to kind of go through some of the, bells and whistles of the system, so to speak.
Sure. Can I back up just a minute when you mentioned Sage and ESP? Are they built into this Boundless app, or are those
ESP?
ESP
is Sage is a separate tool and an entity in itself. So.
Okay, and so ESP is not a fee for your partners, or
no, it is not. It is not a fee.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
Sage would be, right?
Yeah, everything I'm going to show you is just part of our offering and platform to keep it easy. So everything I'm going to show you here today, there's no extra charge for this, or This isn't like the
Okay.
cable company or anything like that where you're getting
Right. Okay.
so.
All right.
Okay.
Mhm.
So let me kind of play around here on Boundless apps, so you got a feel of this. So you would have your own password and log in. You go to a website, you log in, you come here. So this is Shane Maddox, back office system, Boundless
Right.
apps. It contains his information and his information only.
Okay.
So first and foremost, I kind of talk about these three things. These are these icons here are what I would call the big three pieces of reporting, things that are data, financial data that our people want to look at on an ongoing basis. So booked order sales. So at any point in time, once you log in, everything is real time. So when you log in, you will have visibility to what your financials are to date by month. So sales, gross profit, margin percentage, average order size, number of orders placed. You'll know where your say everything is at to the date, to the minute.
Okay.
Additionally, again, to dive into that data is a little more granular. You can look at it by individual count. So you'll see here when I scroll down here, it's just an alphabetical order by account, sales, and gross profit. There also is a third there's also a third report. I won't bore you, but any of these accounts, I can look at it by buyer too, so I can get a greater, if you're dealing with Bob, Dick, and Harry for American Financial Enterprises,
right,
5,000 into those orders that they.
Okay. Well, that's nice. All right.
So you'll be able to see that. The next report, this is an important report because this is basically what we talked about in that Sanmar example with that T-shirt. This is an open order status report. Open orders in our world are defined as orders that have yet to be paid. So it can be in any stage of the production process. So, but they haven't been paid yet. So when I click on open order status, this will give me visibility to all my orders. So you'll see. This is kind of a mini bar graph representation. This piece of data gives a high-level view of where the number of orders, which is to the left, and in what stage they're in. And you'll see here 0, 1, 2, 5.5, 6.5, 7, and so on. Think of your orders, once it's placed with Boundless, think of your order getting, like in a supermarket, a barcode. And when it goes through stages, they're scanned as they go through each individual stage. And this is kind of the tracking mechanism of the orders. This is how we track the orders and in turn give you visibility to those orders as they're moving through the production process and ultimately getting paid. So just keep that in mind as we're going along here. But I'm going to scroll down. So this is a high-level view up here, this bar graph. But as I scroll down here, this is a huge old spreadsheet here. You'll see on the top here in a darker shade, in the aqua color is the title bar. It's got the purchase order number, the order description, account name, total amount, the financials, gross profit, when the order was created, and when the enhanced date is. And you see the stage here in this lighter shade of purple. It's order being prepared. This stage 0 means the order hasn't been submitted. It's been filled out halfway, but they may be waiting on some data from the customer before they submit it. So as I scroll down here, I'm going to just randomly pick out and somewhere in between here. So I'm going to take stage 3. So stage 3, shipping dates verified. I'm going to let's just pretend that there's an order that is high profile, an executive meeting, and you want to see where that order is. So I'm going to pick on stage 3 since that's the middle. So the shipping dates have been verified. That's the stage it's in, and these are the orders that are all in that stage. So I'm going to pick out a big order. So let's say it's these mugs. 5-ounce mini mugs. So 9 grams, a pretty good sized order. It's got an enhanced date of April 22nd. So high profile, I want to keep an eye on this. When I click on the order, I can just enter it in the title into a search and find it. I also can just click on it, and here I am. It's an order detail report. An order detail report, Jim, is everything that is included on your purchase order. In addition to that, it includes all the support notes on the order.
Okay,
So
that's cool.
I'll scroll down here. Sales notes. These are things that this person entered on the order. That being the person that sold this order. In this case, Shane Maddox. So down below that, and what I really wanted to point out to you, this is the support notes, and you'll see everything's dated, and then there's a time and notation there. So this is a doozy, man. This is a real big one here. So this is a hell of a lot of notes that are going on. This corresponds to the salesperson and account manager, or these are all notes that are made by that account manager. So everything, it's communication with the vendor, it may be communications with Shane, but this all has been updated and noted in the system. So the takeaway here that I'm trying to communicate is that at any point in time, you can come in here, and if you want to see where the order is exactly, you will know exactly where the order is in the production process. You'll be able to see the notes that your account manager has made on this order. That way you can look at it visually. If you need to call them up, you can pick up the phone and talk to them as well. But everything is visible to you to date, whether it's Saturday, Sunday, or today.
Okay. Just a quick question, Pat.
Sure.
On the orders report that you the screen beforehand, that I think I noticed that the header titles, are those sortable by date at the very top?
I mean, you can download all this. You can export this stuff into.
So over here on the in-hand date at the right-hand side of the purple or turquoise.
Correct. Yeah.
If you clicked on that in the words in-hand date, will it sort it all by
not by clicking here? You can't. What you can do is you can export. What you can do is export it into an Excel spreadsheet, and you can sort it however you want to do it.
Okay, gotcha.
But you'll notice here, this guy, he's got a bunch of in-hands date, 7/30/2012. This order is never going to happen. He hasn't deleted it out of the system.
Right, okay. Gotcha.
But the account manager, you can sort it however you see fit in Excel if you'd like. The account manager owns the in-hands date. Their job is to make sure that order that's their job, is to make sure it gets ordered as scheduled on your purchase order. I'll go back to this order. And I think that's a very important question. I think back to where we were before. So these are the support notes, but I wanted to also point this out to you because I think this kind of correlates to your question as far as sorting it. So I got an eye on the order and make sure that it gets scheduled as shipped on the purchase order. The system, you'll notice this is an activity journal. I'm going back to this barcode analogy here. But the system is tracking the order as well. And when you place an order, Tim, this is important, your order is allocated a period of time within each stage based on the ship date. If an order stays in a stage longer than it should, like in stage 3 than it should, the order will be red flagged. And what that means is that it alerts the account manager. So one of two things have to happen. Necessarily information needs to be put in the system so it moves in the next stage, or the ship date needs to be changed. If those things aren't done, then it goes to a supervisor. So I'm not saying nothing falls through the cracks here at Boundless, but having a human assigned to the order and then also the system tracking the order eliminates a lot of silly stuff from happening. So
Sure. Okay.
So that is that is really what I just described to you, the notations, the system. That's what we're doing to track the order to make sure it gets shipped out as scheduled. Additionally, there's other things that just make our folks' lives easier. So, for example, you'll see these custom links. If I want to place a reorder on this job, I don't have to rekey anything. All I have to do is hit reorder, and everything will duplicate under a different purchase order number. If I want to, create a packing slip for whatever reason and have the vendor attach it to the box to go to a fulfillment house, I can click on packing slip. and it'll create a
Okay.
packing slip for me. So
Oh, nice.
this is the kind of stuff as just far as trying to eliminate keystrokes, some of the little things
Right.
that are available for you to streamline that process for you.
Okay.
So, any questions on the order management piece of it, or open orders?
No, I mean, are we gonna, well, maybe one. So I place an order.
Mm-hmm.
My account manager supports that order.
Yep.
The customer gets an order confirmation coming directly from Boundless
Yep.
to my customer, and then my customer calls me back in 2 days and says, we need to add 6 more jackets to that order.
Mm-hmm.
And then is that updatable by myself, or does it need to go back to the account manager?
You can make the updates to that.
Oh, I can. I would not have to. One of the things with Halo that can be frustrating is the person can be out for a few hours and then they bring somebody else in to handle a request. So if there's a minor change or an update of 2 jackets or whatever, I could wait hours for that.
No, you can make the change. You just CC your account manager so they're in loop on it. So that's all.
Okay.
So they're on, because they're obviously trying to track the order. And their job is, they get paid on all the,
right.
Getting
right.
orders out of the system. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I showed you kind of the big 3 pieces of reporting. Other
That's
stuff
nice.
Yeah, so and believe me, I've got more reports. If we printed them all up, we could cut down a forest with paper. So, but I'm trying not to get in the weeds on too much, but I'll kind of hopefully give you a feel of it. But
okay.
Other things that are accessible for you, and this is just simple stuff. But if you want to assign yourself tasks or things that you want to accomplish, whether it's sending out a sample or following up on something, there's a section called My Task. And these are all things that Shane has assigned himself to do. I don't know what some of these things means, but hey, waterproof cell phone bays, client, things that he needs to follow up on. So it's kind of a nice piece to just keep top of mind. Additionally, calendar, it links up to Outlook. So if you want to have, all this is designed to have all your information in one spot. So if you have meetings, it can be visible here as well.
But it does tie into Outlook then?
Correct. Okay. It does.
Okay.
And then, I'm sorry?
If I had, I wanted to find out what orders are shipping this week.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possible through the Salesforce application? Is that
what are scheduled to ship out this week? Yeah, absolutely. In that open order report, it will tell you that your account manager will receive a list as well, and then you'll get the tracking information too as those orders are shipping out too. So you're going to see it, and your customer is going to see. So short answer is yes.
Okay.
More reports. There's a lot of stuff here, but I'll pick a couple of them out. Aging reports, if you want to see where we are in collections, you click on aging reports, it'll list all your orders that are out in collections.
Mm-hmm.
So customer name, the date, your current balance, what's 30 days out, what's 31 to 60 days out, what's post 60 days. So, and then you'd have visibility into the collection notes, because your accounting person that's assigned to you would also have, collection notes relative to orders. So, on average,
is there
in 38 days. No, sorry.
38. Okay. 38. Okay. So when an invoice is prepared, it goes directly to my customer. Can I request to have an invoice? I do have one of my larger customers. He's kind of one of those guys that wants everything to go to him, and then he takes it into the accounting department. So is there ways to tag invoices to come to me so I can forward to him? I mean, it seems silly, but this is what he requests.
Yeah, no,
and then it goes. Then he wants to march it in and hand it to the people, or do whatever he has to do. But
yeah,
he likes
absolutely.
the flow to be that way. So that's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, he could even, when he gets a notification the order is shipped, he can even download the invoice there and march it in himself too if he wants to do it.
Okay, good. Okay.
So, like Halo, you've got the Sterling Star. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did you have a question?
No, the other thing is, in one, my terms, have always been net 30 for 99% of my customers, but there is a larger company that says we pay in 45 days period if you want to do work with us. Mm-hmm. Would that be acceptable?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, what we do, we're a little different than Halo. We don't have a lot of, we only have, like I said, 103 people, and we have actually one person that's responsible that would work with you to onboard and transition you to Boundless. And part of the process is going to your customers and then any of those folks that we would call have special terms. So what that means, anything over 30 days. So as long as we know who they are, then we can code it appropriately in the system. And as far as commission reductions or penalties, they don't occur until the orders are post 90. So we'll be well in loop on when things we're having problems with somebody. Everybody will be.
Yeah, I keep on top of that stuff every Monday. So
yeah. And additionally, like Halo, we have a preferred vendor program, just like the Sterling Star. Sterling Star Club or whatever it's called over there. I forgot, but we do share our rebates with our sales partners. So you would get anywhere from 1% to 2% of your gross sales back at the end of the year in the form of a rebate. So I think Halo pays their rebates here in April and or March, and we do the same thing. That's a big thing for our folks. Our folks always want to see the vendor sales they have, and you'll notice reporting on that. So, I can look at Tier 1's preferred supplier spend by preferred vendor, so I know exactly how much, you get an idea what my rebate would be looking like and where my percentage is sitting. So again, that's high profile for our folks. They want to be looking at that a lot.
Sure. And in regards to the preferred vendors, is that
the usual
20 or
Alpha Pro? No, we got
the Norwood.
We got a bunch of them that got well over hundreds that got EQP, but I think preferred vendors got 100. I forget what the total number is. But Sam R. Leeds, Alpha Broder, Norwood, the local mark, the usual suspects.
Local mark,
Gemline, people like that. So so the usual suspects. So again, there's a financial incentive for you to sell those vendors. Period. Additional things of note. We do have a marketing department down in Austin, just like Halo does. I think Julie, I don't know, I forget who does it. Terry McGuire probably still does it for Halo, but we have 3 people in the marketing department. They do create marketing collateral on behalf of our sales partners. A couple things that maybe make us a little different is that you have all our electronic marketing is automated. So, and what I mean by that is when you meet a customer, let's say he's from Microsoft today, you would come in here and create new, and you want to enter him as a lead. You want to send him marketing information. So you would enter his information here, And then below that, you'll see this section called Marketing Communications.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's boxes here. These are all marketing pieces that go out on a continuous basis. Sometimes they go out every other week. We call them good to goes. Others are monthly. They're more educational in nature, how HR is using, for both brand and merchandise to drive this behavior type of stuff. But my point being is that you check a box here, you go to bed at night, you're going to know that going forward that person, that lead, is going to be receiving a marketing piece from you every 2 weeks. And you'll be able to, they'll be able to communicate back to you. You can look at open rates, who opened what did they click on, all that stuff. So it's a modern day, 21st century kind of constant contact.
I'm a partner with them. I've been using them for years. So
yeah,
that's good.
It'll have your brand. It'll appear to the client that it's coming directly from you. So
so also to have my logo with powered by you guys, something like that. Okay.
You got it.
Okay, that's nice. Okay.
So that, again, that's kind of the marketing piece, and then kind of to tie on to that a little bit, you'll see these icons here: Resource tab, Inactive Buyer, Supplier Specials. Resource tab is an area you'd be at quite a bit. Well, our folks are there. It's a library basically think of it as that way. And as you look through here, they're pretty self-explanatory: new branding, marketing, presenting to clients, training, prospecting, supplier information, Zazzle stores. So long story short, you want to present to a client, for example, you can click Presenting to Clients, and these are all PowerPoints, case studies, videos, all things that have been created and you can edit and then present or send to a client. It speaks to Boundless, some of the technology services that we provide. Basically it's a sales pitch to a prospective client, telling them what we do and how it benefits them. If you were looking for supplier information, you click suppliers, you have access to all kinds of supplier information, whether it's preferred supplier, supplier advantage, supplier educational webinars, specials, Canadian suppliers, compliance, import programs, decorating imports, you name it, you click on one of these things, it'll contain those bits of information.
Okay.
So like I said, same thing on marketing, fact sheet, case studies, and we've got more case studies than you can. And I'll send you some examples of this. These are all templates and PowerPoints of customer successes and customer quotes and things like that. So you'll have readily available to you all kinds of collateral to use as you see fit, marketing and whatnot. Another thing that may be interesting to you, just gives you a little flavor on marketing, is inactive buyers. So if I click here, it will list all the buyers that haven't bought from you in 90 days. That's what's called inactive buyers in our world. So if Perry Edmonds here from the city of Lacey is an important person to you and you want to keep in touch with them, you click this box, they will receive an automated email from you. It's personalized. It'll say, hey, Pearl, haven't talked to you in a while. Is there anything that I can help you out with? I'm ad-libbing, but it's really kind of that simple. So this is kind of like, kind of gives you, again, the idea of just kind of drip, 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 drip. So we're continuously staying in touch with you guys. So
are these services that are built in like that, for instance, the lead email program, are those a fee charged to your?
Nope. Yep. Everything it's all part of the platform. Nothing that I'm talking about today is anything is fee based. Everything is just part of our offering in our platform.
Okay.
So, all the back office services that I provide is part of our platform. All the marketing collateral that I've talked about is all part of our platform. So there's no extra, I got you here. It's,
Right. Okay.
Is what it is.
Okay.
So again, high level, you're outsourcing the back office support, the system, the marketing, and then having some of these bells and whistles as far as collateral and things to send out to clients. Those are all things that is part of the Boundless platform. Any questions on this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
It looks very nice. I mean, it's nice and clean.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice it's very user friendly system, and the other thing is too, we don't give you a handbook and shake your hand and say, read the handbook and best of luck to you. There's a person assigned to you for onboarding the first 90 days to make sure your transition smoothly, and part of it is just simple stuff like order entry and all that stuff. What does that look like? How you do it? And then even watching them do it, so you get an idea of, what that looks like.
Okay.
So, all right, so I'm going to take you offline for a second. I'm going to segue now to kind of part two and kind of the stuff that really, sets us apart from, like a traditional Halo. It's quite a bit different. And that has to do with the technology side. So I'm actually going to, I was doing a presentation the other day, and I had somebody's, okay, here it is. So I'm going to show you from a customer's perspective what is available to them, and in turn what you'd be able to provide your clients, and also think of it in terms of what you'd be able to speak to new account opportunities, and answer that question: what makes you different than the 20 other guys that sell T-shirts in the neighborhood? So what you're looking at is a buyer portal. The company's Spectrum Business. I'm actually logged in as a buyer. What is their name? Jody V. That's the buyer. Jody V works for Spectrum Business. So I'm logged in as Jody. Okay? Mm-hmm. Jody is a buyer, again, within Spectrum. Oops. Go back to the top of the screen. Jody's a buyer within Spectrum. And actually the people that are calling on Jody, who's part of the Boundless sales partners, is Graham Robbins and Teresa Knight. There's two individuals that are calling on this account, Spectrum Business.
Okay, that's nice.
So
this is a login user application for customers.
Yeah, it's a website. We call it portal. It's a website.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Couple things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one very important thing before I even get into this: every one of your customers, everybody who buys from you, or who buys from you, would have their own portal, their own personal website. Okay.
Okay.
The system automatically generates it once they place an order. So when they place their first order, they'll receive an email from you. It'll say, hey, just want to introduce you to your brand portal website. On this brand portal website, it does ... And then, they can sign on, put a password if they want to, and so on.
Okay.
The features and benefit, have you ever bought anything from Amazon?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's very similar.
Often.
Yeah, same here. I mean, Christmas is now Amazon, but I mean,
it makes our mail shopping a lot easier.
Exactly. So it's very similar to that, except it's branded merchandise. So Jody, the person I'm logged in on here, Jody can come on here and shop and purchase brand, can search thousands of different products, and also has the capabilities of purchasing what we would call brand approved products. And what that means is products that have the Spectrum Business logo on it, that are ready made. At a click of a button, they can buy it. Jody, the buyer here, can come online at any point in time and see where his orders is in the production process. You can see when it's going to ship, if it's shipped, when it's shipped, and the tracking information, just like they can do on Amazon. Jody, the buyer. I'm sorry?
I just say no need to call me if they choose not to.
Correct.
Okay.
Jody can come on here at any point in time, and if he wants to see, what he purchased from you in the last 12 months, he can run a report and it'll list all his purchases, just like they can do on Amazon.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Jody, when he shops for products, will also be able to have visibility to product reviews by people like him, other buyers that have written product reviews on products. Jody, the buyer, can have visibility to other people within Spectrum Business, other buyers, if there's other buyers within the company, and have visibility to products that they have purchased and communicate back and forth to him. So these are all things that Jody, the buyer, has accessibility to. And these are things, this is basically, what we would tell a client. This is what we provide to you, an online brand merchandise solution.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of show you some of these things I just talked about. And first let's just start off with order status, because that's pretty easy. So Jody here again, the buyer, can come in here and you'll see an icon that says check order status and run reports. So I click on that. It'll take me to orders that are in process. So orders in process are orders that have yet to be paid. They're open orders.
Right.
They can be just in the beginning, they can be invoiced, they can be anywhere. But you'll see here in this column here, it says status. I'm going to just pick one that's been invoiced here, this one here. So I'll click on this. So when I do that, it will pull up an order detail report.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see here on the top here, it's been invoiced. There's a tracking information. There's the original estimated arrival date. There's a summary of the product's been ordered, billing information, shipping information. And there's a download, invoice, and reorder items. So if I click on the tracking information, it'll take me to FedEx, or in this case, UPS.
Nice.
When it's been delivered for, who signed for it, and whatnot. If I want to download an invoice, like your buddy was, he likes to download invoices, he can do that right here too. And this is what an invoice would look like. It would have your logo up here, but the remittance would be here. And this is what an invoice would look like.
Okay.
You can even reorder an item if you want.
Excuse me. Mm-hmm.
If he clicks on reorder, it'll put a reorder request in. You type a message, it'll go back to the sales partner.
Okay.
Okay.
Very
I'm
cool.
going to tell you too is important, because one thing you may be saying here, or you would eventually say to yourself if you haven't thought about it already, is that, well, my existing deck of customers, some will use this, some won't.
Right. Right.
Now, how we drive adoption and usage to this tool is important, because remember, when going back to the example of those T-shirts from Samar that we talked about at the beginning, when we send an order acknowledgement out to the customer, it'll say, Mr. Customer, click on the following link to get your scheduled ship date. When they do that, it takes them here to their portal. Okay, and it'll give them the estimated ship date. When the order is shipped, he'll receive another email, say, Mr. Customer, your order has shipped. Click on the following link to get your tracking information. It'll take them here to their portal. So automatically they'll be driven here twice, because the customer service feature is designed to get them here, and then also what we really want them to do is purchase products. So so another thing, just
are those products based on the same Spectrum Business previous orders, or these are just recommended other items?
To the right, good question. It can be that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it can also be this. Let me describe this. When you upload a buyer into the system, we're going to ask you what department they work in. So if they're in marketing, or if they're in HR or in operations, there's a series of choices. You click on that. And then if this guy, let's say this Jody guy, he is a marketing person. People like me are people within marketing, or people like me could be people within the company of Charter, however you want to define it.
Sure. Okay.
So it's kind of like, when you do a search on Amazon, you're looking for a particular shoe, for example, it'll pull up people that recently were shopping for shoes and what they looked at.
Right. Okay. Very cool.
Same thing here. So
excuse me.
So that's the order status of it.
Okay.
Depending on if you deal with mid and large size accounts, reporting can be really important too. So you can also run reports, especially with mid and large size clients. A lot of these guys have no idea how much they're spending.
Right.
So if I can put, I'll put a bigger date on here. I don't know how much this guy's bought, but let's say current year. I'll take it from current year to where we are right now.
Right.
And I'll click generate a report. What'll populate is a spreadsheet here that'll list all the orders that this individual has placed. So this 8 orders for $800, and those listed below is the 8 orders.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So a buyer,
Cool.
what a buyer may use this for is, I forgot what I ordered something from Tim last year. I forgot what it is. I want to reorder it. I mean, he can run a search and find it if he'd like. Or another scenario is, if Jody here was a manager, we could and he's got subordinates, we could give him visibility to all the buyers within Spectrum and what they purchased. Now, he doesn't have that authority, but we can give, if you're dealing with a manager at a Microsoft, we can give him visibility to all his buyers too and what they purchased from you as well.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's very cool.
So they can put budgets in place and whatnot. So that is that's the reporting. So any questions on the reporting and order status?
Just in regards to this, so is this where they would go to, is this also like an ESP search deal? Maybe I missed that.
No, they can
source. Okay. There we go.
They can source products by categories.
Okay.
And
gotcha.
Or you can type in yellow mugs or whatever and do a search on here as well.
Could you click on one, let's say just drinkware on the left, or where?
Yeah.
Curious to see how it shows.
He's got this one set up, and this is important that you ask, because he's got this set up. He's got a store set up for these guys. So what he's done is actually created a mini store. So I'll click on drinkware. So these are all drinkware items that he's got up, and you'll notice Spectrum logos on all these products.
Right. I noticed that it switches colors too based on the product background. For instance, the double wall mug is white on the blue, and then right below it is the blue logo on white. Does it do that WYSIWYG that according to background color?
No, these are images that this person has uploaded into the database. So he's created.
I see. Okay.
He's created a virtual on this. So,
I see. Okay.
But I think it's any of these products under the store category are
right? Okay.
Are all products images he's uploaded. So I don't know if there's another one apparel.
Right. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I was thinking that could be pretty tricky to get it to do it just on, a lot like ESP, they do the virtuals, but, colors and the logos need to change per item. So this is just a preset store. Okay.
Yeah, let's look at, let's kind of walk through an order. So I'll pick out, I don't know, these men's shirts. So if I want to buy these shirts, I've got an image of the product, so it's Spectrum Business. That's what the logo looks like there.
Okay.
So if I want to buy, I don't know, 24. Price will adjust to $812. I've got, let's see if he's got any color choices. So these are the colors. So if I pick out a color, navy blue, and then select the logo. So he may have more than one logo here. So
okay, there we go.
That's two. So one colored stacked that's what that looks like. Okay. Two colored stack looks like that.
I see. Okay.
So I've got this. And again, here's the reviews that I was talking about. So these are product reviews by, could be within Charter or it could be outside of Spectrum Business, excuse me.
Okay.
And then, you know, I got 24, so I add the cart. It'll ask me to break the 24 out by sizes, and you know, it's the price. So there's different prices based on different sizes.
Sure.
Here, these got.
Sure.
Here's the logo, and I won't go any farther here. Well, I will go one more. So once I fill that out, well, I put it on the cart, but it'll ask me where I want it to ship to, and then I'm done. But
right.
I won't go any farther because this dude will get alerted here. And so, but yeah, so I mean, you can create these. These are places where a guy can come in line and purchase, and the individual here, Graham, the guy who's part of Boundless, picks the product, uploads the images that he wants, determines the logos that are available, and then sets the price points, the quantity, minimum quantity, and then the price. And then once he sets it up, then those buyers can come online, and in this case, Jody can come online. Anybody within Spectrum come online and buy this stuff.
Okay.
And you'll just receive an alert. It'll say Jody bought 24 of them. You approve. It goes directly into the system, and then it goes through the process.
Okay, and at that point, if it's a decorator, Sanmar situation, a PO, is that, do you recreate as a Boundless salesperson? Are you now taking that alert notice and creating an order through your system?
Yeah, good question, which is smart. So which is a good smart question. So let's go through this scenario. So I just bought 24 of these, right? So Graham here will receive an alert. It'll say, hey, and it'll be an email. Say, Graham, Jody from Spectrum just bought 24 shirts, and it'll summarize the order. It'll during the checkout, it'll ask Jody where he wants it shipped and how he wants to pay for it. So it may be credit card, it may be billed, it may be cost center, whatever it may be. But but all that information, basically, Graham has got a virtual purchase order to look at those 24 shirts that Jody just bought. When when Graham hits approve, that information downloads into our order management system, what we were on before, and then that order, and then it goes. It's processed by our salespeople, so you don't have to double key it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Okay. That's a great benefit.
Yeah. So I mean, and again, you can establish these stores, or they can go source, the 20,000 products or whatever that's just on the general database. But with the good customers, most of our folks want to be able to set these stores up, and it's about getting a virtual done, having the vendors do a virtual image, uploading that, and putting in the quantity and pricing, and then you're off to the races. But you just build these stores out, and it's an e-commerce solution for your customers to come online and buy. Buy the stuff.
That's very cool.
So.
Very cool. Okay, great.
So that's the portal. And then, like I said, every one of your buyers would receive one of these, and it's just part of our platform and our offering. One other thing I'll show you, if you got here 5 more minutes, is a technology called Group Buy.
Called what?
Group Buy.
Group Buy. Okay.
Group Buy, and I'll pull it up here. Group Buy is I'm logging in. I'm trying to find one right now, but Group Buy is a piece of technology that we have a patent on, and it is what it really kind of sounds like. It's where multiple buyers, like for example in Spectrum we just talked about, buy one shirt at the same time. So and the whole objective is to get a bunch of people buying products at one time so they can increase the volume, drive down the price.
Sure.
And we do that quite a bit here at Boundless for clients that have multiple buyers within a company, and then have there's 1 or 2 people who have management authority. So like a marketing department, for example.
Okay, right.
Would use Group Buy quite a bit. So I'm pulling this up here. Bear with me. All right, so here's one. So like I said, group buy is multiple buyers, piggyback on an order to drive down the volume. What you're looking at, if you can you see my screen here? It says box on the top here. Okay. This is a group buy.
Time driven. Okay.
Yeah, this is a group buy. This is a group buy template. So this is something that every buyer who participate in this group buy would receive. So box is the customer, and these are the three products that are featured on this group buy, and then there's a little blurb on what group buy is. So,
okay, what drives the product selection for the product for Boxit? Is that done by the
Let's run a real life scenario. So let's say there's a marketing manager at Boxit, and they're running a spring campaign to all their stores.
Okay.
You would work with the marketing manager at Boxit, whoever controls the brand compliance and advertising dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You would work with them. They're running a campaign and they want to use promotional products. You would work with that person to determine, and they want to. This is a campaign that's going out to a bunch of stores or whatever. You would work with that marketing person to define the products that are best going to fit, what objectives of that campaign are.
Okay.
Yep. So you pick out the product. With that, you would just, descriptive copy on the product. You'd set some pricing.
Mm-hmm.
You put an expiration date to the group buy. It can be 24 hours, it can be 2 weeks, it can be a week, whatever it is.
Okay, that's very cool.
You would create what you're looking at right here. Basically, what you do is upload the product, images the product. You include copy. You determine the price points and the expiration date, and lastly, you define the audience. In other words, you get the emails of the people that are going to be participating in this group buy campaign or who are targeted in this group buy campaign.
So, for instance, I just did this pedometer program, and 1,000 people, out of their 4,000 employees, 1,000 employees signed up to be part of that program. Working with a manager, we could have launched something like this to a database of is that possible, to like 3,000 employees, and then he would get a report on who's in and who's out?
You got it. Exactly what would happen. You would upload the image of that product, you'd set the minimum quantity and the pricing, and then you'd send it out to the audience of buyers. And then they would be given a time period to purchase products. So those guys would receive something like this in their email. It could come from you. It could come from your client. A lot of times the client sends this out to the audience of buyers.
I see. Okay.
Because it helps drive purchasing and whatnot. Because it's in their best interest to get people all to buy, because the more they buy, you drive brand compliance for one, and then two, you drive down the price instead of everybody buying it individually at EQP. Hopefully there's a big enough quantity where it's EQP US 10, 15% and whatnot. So Joe Buyer would come on, he would receive this from you or from your management contact at Boxit. They'd say, okay, I'm interested in this bike bottle, it's $279. I click on View Group Buy Details. It'll take me to basically a purchase order here. So on $279, there's 4 days left. There's 323 that have been purchased. I come down.
Okay.
I see highlighted in gray is where the price is at. It's $279. There's been 300 some on purchase. I click a color. I want blue, and I click the quantity. I want 400.
Okay.
Okay, so it adjusts. I I ordered enough that it takes me in next price bracket. So now it's $2.50.
Right. And that's for everyone involved.
And
right.
I add to order. Now I don't want to add to order. So I click out. It'll tell me how much I bought, $2.50, 400. It asks me how I want to invoice and charge my credit card. If the credit card's on file, it'll be there, or invoice me. I enter test, purchase order. I enter location, Atlanta.
Okay.
And I check out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So then it'll ask me my name, billing information, and then I check out, and I won't go any further. Then it'll ask me,
sure.
Tell me, you've ordered 400, it's scheduled to ship XYZ date. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm a buyer, but I'm done. I bought these things. So
right.
the date when this group buy ends, when it's going to end in 4 days or something like that. Get back there. I went too far. I screwed up. I locked myself up. That's my bad.
No worries.
But I got back on. But so this group buy will expire in 4 days and 12 hours. I'll receive an email, me who bought 400 of them, and it'll say, Pat, thank you for your order. You bought 400 at $2.50. And hopefully then it's in the sum total. But hopefully it'll say, hey, Pat, you bought 400. The group would have paid $2.50, but there was 10,000 bought, and the price has gone down to $2. You'll now be invoiced X amount of dollars, and your product will ship XYZ date. And that's it from a buyer's perspective. That's what they would see.
Okay.
Management.
So that's all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Management at the end of the group buy. Your contact at Box, the marketing manager, would receive a list of all the people that participated in the group buy, if they purchased, how much they would have paid on that quantity, and then how much they saved based on the end of the group buy.
Very cool.
So that is group buy.
Just a quick question on the group buy. Does it also, I realize this is a per customer, so Box It and their team and whoever they live. Is there any elements within your system that says I'm going to pick this product and do the same countdown and be available for minimum quantities for all my customers?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do those we call those universal group buys. The only thing that's really important, the most important thing on that is this, though. It's got to be is the decoration. So if it's laser etching, or or it's engraving or something like that, that's easy. One color imprints or embroidery, everything's under 7,500 stitches, whatever. But it's the pricing has got to, the decoration's got to be bundled. So if you do that, you can run a group buy all day long on that stuff. But
so it'd be like minimum orders and that kind of a thing.
It's got to be bundled. So it's got to be one price. There can't be you add third color X charge or fourth color X you add XYZ charge. It's got to be, it's got to have a list of pricing, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, perfect.
But what you described is like great for USB flash drives, koozies, one color imprint, stuff like that, or laser etching on a pen or something like those types of things. You can do all day long on this. So so yeah, some of our people have, we'll do what we call universal group buys on core items to all their accounts once a month. Others will focus more on company specific, like Box It, where they're putting a 12-month calendar in place, and they're running a group buy campaign on core items every month or every quarter. So things like that, a lot of times
Okay.
these guys will use group buy to reduce their customers' inventory impact. So instead of ordering a bunch of stuff and warehousing them in a fulfillment center,
right,
just run a group buy on the seasonality of depending on the seasonality. So
sure.
So there's no reason everybody should be buying pens or whatever at different times during the year and paying, a higher price, where if they're going to aggregate it all together,
right,
it'll drive down the price. Golf balls, things like that.
Okay, that's very cool.
So I've given you a mouthful. It took you longer than an hour. I apologize, but that's the back office.
Okay, it's very nice.
The technology, the finances, it's about at anything under $500,000 or more, you'd have the choice. You could move up to like a 60-40 split, but anything less than that is at a 50-50 split, paid on paid and the rebate. You can at $500,000 go to 60-40 if you want. The only thing that you'd have to consider is that, when you get 750 at Boundless actually starts contributing dollars for you to hire a support person to like enter orders, for example, or something like that. So it's kind of one or the other if you want to take the better, richer split and pay for it yourself, or, pay 100% of it yourself, or you can kind of take 50-50 and plug into the shared inside sales support contribution that we make.
Okay.
But that's pretty much the simple math. Friend on that. So,
okay.
And I can put that all in the email so you got visibility to it.
Right. No, I got it. So I've got a couple quick questions on that end. Mentioned that one. Samples. How does samples work?
You would have just like Halo, you get a lot of free samples from vendors. We have a budget. You'd have about a $500 sample budget that you could allocate towards. You'd have an account number, a purchase order number. Let's say it's 100, and you reference that. You call up SanMar and you want a shirt. You reference 100. They'll show. You don't have to enter anything in. They'll ship the sample out. And then Boundless a freight. Or probably because they don't charge on the samples, but a freight bill, and then we would deduct that off your sample account.
Okay, now is the sample account different than a marketing budget?
Yes, we don't have a marketing budget. Everything we have here we provide you. So all the electronic marketing, all that stuff, there's no one-off fees we don't have a quote-unquote marketing budget, so to speak.
Okay. All right. So if I were to go do a trade show and there were expenses for the trade show, the only reason why I ask is I think I have a $1,000 marketing budget at my sales so far for using it in marketing ways, and then I pay half, they pay half, up until that $1,000.
Yeah.
So that's a no on that then, right?
Correct. That would be a no on that.
Okay. Ownership of customers, non-compete. How does that work with Boundless?
Yeah, we don't have. Obviously, nearly the amount of people that Halo does.
Right.
Our policy is pretty simple. If you got a contract with a client, then you obviously own that account.
Right.
If you do a 100-piece mug order with Microsoft, you don't own the account. You just have that buyer relationship, whoever bought from 100.
Yeah, which is
sure
they buy the person usually.
So at Boundless, we don't. It's the customer ultimately decides. That being said, we have a pretty ethical way of doing things here, where you can type in a name, for example, of a client or a buyer, and you can see if there's anybody marketing or calling on them. and common sense usually prevails. So, for example, if you type in Microsoft, there may be 3 guys that show up, okay, and then you type in the buyer department, and you can see it'll whittle down to maybe 1. Doesn't show you the sales dollars that one person does, but then you can drop me an email. I can look it up on my end and see if there's any conflict at all. 9 times out of 10, it's somebody's marketing to them, and if you got business, and it's easy. It's hey, a heads up or conversations, and everybody moves on.
Sure, yeah. I'm always surprised on with Halo and my customer base that there's very, very, very little conflict at all.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean there's a lot of companies out there.
Any that you would be concerned of, if we reach that point, I would have no problem with looking up and seeing if there's conflicts or anything like that.
Okay. Do you have a internal email system to the other 100 Boundless partners? So, hey, I'm looking for this item. Has anybody found it before? I know where I can get it. You do? Okay.
Yeah, they're all over that stuff. We don't have the amount of people as a Halo do, but we have 2 groups. One being to our existing, your peers, your sales peers, and then also we have one to preferred vendors too. So if you're looking for a widget, then you can send it to preferred vendors, and you'll get responses that way as well. Again, that's there to try help you in a preferred vendor direction. So we do have weekly supplier webinars. We have vendor relations team just like Halo does. We have weekly supplier webinars, which a lot of our folks attend, where special offers, samples, spec samples, things are done routinely. We record those if you can't make them. We have an annual sales meeting just like Halo does. It's down in Austin, Texas. Our folks are all invited. They pay to get there. We pick up, hotel and transportation, food and beverage for that time period. We have events, PPAA Vegas and stuff like that, where all our folks get together. But yeah, you would get to know a lot, because we don't have a ton of people. You would get to know a lot of these people. It's pretty. We got a great group of people, and they're really easy.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. I'm assuming you folks do fulfillment programs.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's an area.
We don't have a warehouse or fulfillment house that we own, but we have several fulfillment vendors that we use, and we're connected. We're electronically connected up with in order to do that with our technology.
Okay. So if crazy things happen and 2 years from now and it's not working out, and which I would not anticipate, but if that happened, then pretty much I would not be under a non-compete where I wanted to continue to call on a customer I've had for 20 years.
Yeah, there's no non-competes. The only thing that our agreements really consist of 3 things. One being just defining independent contractor status from a government standpoint. And there's a non-solicitation of boundless employees, and there's a non-disclosure on as far as technology, so you wouldn't be able to take, in theory, take our manual and hand it off to Halo or somebody like that. Right.
Okay, that makes good sense. Okay, and then where I'm redeveloping, and I know my numbers aren't great, but they're moving up the grade train a little bit, and if I'm accepted or decide to make the change, being at I'm in the President's Club and moving towards the next level, is that acceptable to Boundless to kind of take someone that's rebuilding and supporting and moving forward?
Yeah, we're looking. Yes, it is. Our goal would, to get if I remember correctly, you said you're about 150 right now, or 200,000.
Oh, I think it's 125 ended last year, and on track to beat that by 20 or 30%, and then if not more. And this is kind of what interested me on.
Yeah, we'd like you to be at a couple hundred. I mean, to hit the couple $100,000 plus. It seems like you're in that vicinity, and with our stuff, I think we would be all right. Our goal would be to get you up to $500,000 here.
Yeah, totally.
In 12 to 24 months.
Right. Okay. Good. Yeah, that would definitely be my goal, and they used to do that without blinking, but now
yeah,
rebuilding that. So, okay, well that's great to hear. Do you have any questions for me, Pat?
No, I don't think so. I think, what I try to do here on situations when I get involved in stuff like this is, I just let you chew on it for 24 to 48 hours, and then we can circle back to address any other questions. I'll send you some marketing collateral and some things for you to review, and then why don't we circle back here midweek sometime, Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. And if you wouldn't mind sharing with me a link to the distributor look of websites
sure.
that you've got out there, it'd be great to see the feel and design of those as well.
No worries. I'll send you some stuff, and if there's some additional things you want to take a look at, let me know. But I'll send you some stuff for you to review.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate your time this morning for sure. I was looking at the clock on. It's not 12:23. It can't be. All right. Well, great. Well, I appreciate your time, Pat. Thank you very much.
All right. I'll ping you. I'll email you. Just let me know. You email you some stuff, and then just let me know some days and sometimes Wednesday and Thursday that work for you to connect after you receive it. Okay.
Okay, you got it, Pat. Thanks, and have a great Monday. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.